Why you copy my style, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo.
We're in the building.
Okay. Hey.
That's Benon messing around. That's Benon's style. You know that? Yeah.
Which track is it?
Meanwhile,
Some of the stuff he does in it.
guess what? You know, I've overworked with this guy, and he has no idea he played some chords in this track.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I was asking which
I
track
can
is it?
bet $1 million.
Michael
He
has
has no
left
idea.
his DNA in so many places.
Yeah.
We don't know
Musically.
what he
Yeah.
has given which children he has given birth to.
So Michael, this is a very old beat. Remember when we were trying to do something for Lillian Babazi, and we were messing around, just doing,
Different things.
Yeah. So
This is one of them.
yeah, actually, you played that. Yeah.
Bro.
I had no idea.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special guest in the building.
Welcome to the Master Bus podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Myko Ouma.
He needs no introduction.
No man.
Yeah.
If you don't know this guy, then
We're so lucky to have you here today.
if you don't know this guy, then,
who do you know?
then your music taste is whack.
Oh my God.
Benon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then you've not been to any concerts live
In this city.
in this city,
Or in Africa.
or you've not been to any music festival in Africa,
You know what I mean?
or you've not been keeping track of what's the genre that he used to do back in the days with the Chinobes and
World music
yeah,
or Afro.
all the way from Soul Beat Africa.
Let's go. Myko
Ouma.
Hello.
Michael, nice to have you on this show.
Very
Good to be
humble
here.
guy.
I know we had to really squeeze into your schedule.
Yeah.
Your very busy schedule.
I know where you're going with this.
But
But
thank you for
honestly, yeah.
accepting to come and be on the show. By the way, let me say this right off the bat.
Mhm.
Michael, and I could be wrong, but I'm sure Michael is the reason why people call me Steve Keys today. And I'll tell you why.
He baptized you?
No, but back then, I think it was 12 or 13, when I came into the live music scene, and so like we would have conversations, and it would be like, "Hey, we were playing with Steve," and then guys would be like, "Which Steve? Steve Gene, Steve? Like the Steve who plays keys? You know what I mean?"
Uh-huh.
So they added the word keys for my identification from the differentiation from Steve Gene or anybody else. They'll be like Steve Keys, and I'll be like, so we played with Steve. Which Steve says Steve Keys, and then now the whole name caught up, and the rest is history. Now apparently that's
Steve
my name.
Keats.
Keys.
It's interesting.
So
But-
Michael, welcome.
Thank you. Interesting to be here in this mode.
I don't know what that means, but
Like
Is
whenever
that a good thing?
it's a strange thing. It's like a bittersweet feeling. Like whenever we meet, we are backstage. Or
Oh, yeah, I
like
know.
we're prepping for a concert. I'm not singing guitar. I'm not singing a mixer. I'm gonna be doing with
can we bring a
plug-in.
guitar?
No.
Michael strings.
That can mean very different things. So
Yeah.
we're not gonna go that way.
But now I know your name is Myko Ouma, but now it's one name. It's not
Yeah.
like two names. It's like
It's-
even the way it's written, it's Myko Ouma.
yeah, branding.
That's a brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he has done over time. So
Over
it's
time.
it's not just Michael.
You have to put in the hours.
Yeah.
I like this.
10,000 hours.
Are you comfortable being famous?
Am I
And
comfortable?
don't try to say you're not famous. You are famous.
Am I comfortable being famous? Very interesting question. It would take me to a life story, but I don't know if we're gonna get to that part at some
Let's go.
point.
This is why we're here, bro.
I know. So, just a moment. So, I grew up in church. I started playing instruments really, 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 really early. Like the guitar was home, so
As early as
honestly, I don't really know.
okay.
Like from when I can recall, there was guitar at home, and we're
From
playing.
when he started talking.
Yeah.
I won't say that on the record, but I'm not sure because I know like we grew up playing with it like a toy. One of the things that were home. Yeah, so it wasn't really a good thing necessarily because when you break a string, then there's repercussions. But like it wasn't news to see an instrument. And then in church, there's lots of instruments. You're playing with the drums, keys. You know these kids that they keep pushing away. Like as if you're not a person. But then anyway, you're kids, so you're not supposed to be playing at that point. But like instruments were there. So then I started playing in the main choir at about, I think, P5 or...
Playing guitar?
No, I was playing drums.
Drums?
Yeah, with a friend of mine called Ambrose, with whom we were in Soul Beat. We'll get to that point.
Yeah.
So I played drums, but I had the very wrong technique. Like I was pounding the kick literally with the whole foot. The whole leg, actually. Yes. So I could last half a song.
So you're only supposed to use your toes?
You're supposed to, like the pounding technique is very different.
Okay.
And if you learn it, you can play like a full gig.
Yeah.
But I was playing half a song because I was doing it the wrong way. I had no energy. So I moved on.
It was a proper workout.
Yeah. It was gym.
Yeah.
So then I went to other instruments. I went back to the guitar at the end. Like now this is about S6 is when I go back to the guitar. But in the middle, I was investigating different instruments. I'm going to come back to the question of am I comfortable? So basically from childhood,
You've been exposed.
I've been there at a point where you're like in the forefront, like at a certain point you're the highlight of a certain event or things like that. So growing up doing that already, by the time we came out to performing and being me and doing my thing on stage and wherever, like the whole part of, like it's just
normal.
Yeah. But everybody gets stage fright. I've skipped to that part. Everybody gets stage fright. Even the late MJ. Like just before a show, you'd get stage fright. 2 songs in there, like, what the hell?
So in other words, you're comfortable.
I am comfortable.
Story short. Is your dad a pastor?
He is a pastor. And yeah.
So that's how you ended up you had to be in church anyway.
Yes and no. Because there's many pastors' children who are definitely
not in the church. But I think they start. But Benon, I feel like there's a huge connection between music and church.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why have you ever thought about like why? Is there so much music in the church? So many instruments? It's like a concert every weekend. I mean, it's service, don't get me wrong, but it's like a concert.
A mini concert.
Yeah, every
then we have a praise rally sometime. Then you have a concert.
I think that's why.
A lot of people have gained their experience and the exposure
and the technique,
to a lot of things from church, simply because those things are always there.
Yeah.
There's always singing.
Yeah.
There's always practice.
That's true.
Instruments are available.
Yes.
So I think parents.
The music is challenging.
Parents who want their kids to do certain things, not just music, need to expose the children to those things at a very early age.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very, very important.
Good.
So I don't know if I answered your question.
Ish.
I'm comfortable in the sense that it's not something that I grew up doing something different and then it's like news after.
Okay.
Like if you're 20 something and then you probably have a blown out hit and then you've got to learn how to be
handle
the center of attraction at an event.
Yeah.
Like you're used to attending, then people are attending to watch you.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing.
Oh,
That's big.
But like I've grown up in a situation where we'd come with the children, they're going for Sunday school, or maybe you sit it in the audience or something, and then they ask you, you know what, the bass guy didn't turn up today, but he did rehearsal yesterday.
Yeah.
Could you play something?
Yeah.
So you join the choir stealthily, and you're not used to being like up front, but then you have to do something. Then you learn how to sort of find your way around bass, and this happens in lots of churches.
Yeah.
Like you end up playing like 3
What
or
churches
4
have you played with?
It's a long story. Like there's so many.
Like to mention a few.
Deliverance Church where I grew up. Watoto. I did something at All Saints sometime. Redeemed. Full Gospel. Where else? Calvary. Worship Harvest.
Do you still practice?
Do I still practice?
after playing for all these years?
Yeah. When I stop practicing, I'll definitely be out of the industry.
Okay.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Coming from a maestro. And what instruments do you play?
That's just another long story. So, I'll take you back to another life story. So, I start with the guitar. It's at home. And it's like a given. The way you have toy cars and stuff. Like, it's not news. It's there. So, I grew up knowing probably everybody in every home. Or it's something normal. People see this every day. And then, I go to church. And we find different instruments. Play the drums, learn the drums, learn keys. I was trying to learn the trumpet as well. And then I went to Makere College School. So I find traditional instruments. Then dingidi, the akogo, xylophone, then dere, then tongoli, the traditional drum, the dungu, all of them. So each time I wanted a challenge. Because I felt like you've learned this one. The advantage is that what I learned first was music, because it's very different learning instruments. Learning an instrument and learning music are very different things. The two are related, but it's very different. In the sense that if you know music, like if you know the music theory, you can translate it to any instrument, as long as you learn the dynamics of how to make sound out of that instrument. So that's what I did first. When we're in church, all I wanted to know was like the music ladder, the chord compositions, what triads are all about and stuff. And this is late primary. So when I go to secondary school, whenever you get an instrument, I'm just looking for how you get
To
music out of
reproduce that.
Yeah, what I did on the keys, how do I bring it to the madinda?
Yeah.
What I did on the guitar, how do I take it to the adungu?
And that brings up an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
You think? Did you ever play the keyboard?
Played with, yes.
Yeah. So I know this podcast is not about me, but I learned the keyboard. I found it easier to play other instruments because I would just get those chords off the keyboard and just find a way of getting them on the other instruments.
Yes.
And it became very easy for me to get music out of other instruments.
I need to ask you guys a question. Both. Do you think? Because for me, my journey is different, but we'll get there at some other episode. Yeah. Do you think that it's advantageous to first learn theory, then you get to the practical, or vice versa?
Let him go first.
To me, I feel like the practical part, starting with the practical is good. Theory, for me, I feel like it's just an enhancement to know what you're doing. But to be musical, you don't need to know theory. Yeah, I think it's like hearing the sounds is something that is inborn. Like you hear sounds first before you know what they are. Then the theory tells you, no, what you're hearing is A,
this.
B, C, D. But I know a lot of people who play, they say piano. They have never read theory. But they know how to play. They're like, if I want to get a sound that sounds like this is what I need to do. Yeah, so it's important, but by me, I feel like theory is just to enhance, like it can make you go faster in your learning.
And easily communicate.
Yeah, and easily communicate or explain what you're doing.
Yeah,
but
what you're trying to do.
You don't need to know what you're doing. You could still make music, Okay. I know some producers, Benon, I know some producers who don't know what they're playing on the keyboard. Hold on.
I feel attacked right now.
But they have won awards. They have produced very big songs, but he will not know what chord he's playing. But he knows that this is what I want. This is the sound that I want.
I think my take depends on your mission and how long you want to spend, how much time you want to spend
learning.
No, between when you start and when you achieve your target. Why? It extends not just from music, even in sports. Because musically speaking, if I only know how to play the guitar as a guitar, or the keyboard as a keyboard without understanding what I'm doing, it's very difficult for me to learn another instrument because now I'm learning that instrument and the musicality within it I don't really understand. You get?
Yeah.
Now what happens is if you do the two parallel, if you're learning the theory and the practical same time, it makes it easier because with the theory, you're encompassing the entire music spectrum, regardless of instrument. It takes me back to what I was saying at first. That helped me, the theory helped me investigate how I could.
Where did you learn the theory from?
It was by and by at first. And then we had music in the primary school. But many people were not really concentrating. It was like one of those subjects. Then when we went to secondary school, music was taught. I did music from S1 till S6.
Wow.
Yeah, so that theory.
So you actually studied.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you want to get.
So you're in your profession, like what you studied. Some of us wanted to be other things, but now we're in music.
Man.
We're also going to get to that
What
point.
did you do at the university?
I did a B-stat.
Statistics. You like math.
Yeah. So let me go question by question. How many instruments do I play? Honestly, I don't know the number because I've not quantified them, but they're over like 15 or something.
This guy is a show off.
How many do I play well? Perhaps like 3 or 4. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen you play keys.
How many do I play well?
Guitar, akogo, thumb piano.
That's the
Hey, that's the akogo.
Being the
Fiddle.
fiddle.
That's
Bass.
okay.
Yeah.
At least you could.
Okay, I can play like 5 well.
Yeah.
And then I play another like
17.
No.
I remember that gig we
I
did.
mean, there's a shaker.
I remember
Where
that
play the phone.
Triangle.
No, I remember that gig we did, and then the bassist didn't show up, and then he played bass on your
On the
guitar.
guitar.
That was so good. And then after we played, the clients were like, "You guys play very well."
Yeah.
Did I tell you the story where I played the phone?
A phone?
Yeah.
What, like how?
So this was the man.
You played the phone.
Yeah. So I was the trumpet player for that gig,
Okay.
and then there was no trumpet in that song. You know the songs like towards the end of the gig where they're like giving a big up to everybody. Yeah, so and so on this, but there was actually no trumpet in this particular song. So I'd been doing, you know, the composer thing in the Nokias that we had back in the day.
Yeah.
So I was in my composer page, and they were in C. So C is very easy. You just play it and like take it out. And I was like just playing around with it. I don't know who was next to me. It's like, man, that sounds musical. So I'm listening to what I'm trying to play around with, and it's in context to the song, it's applicable. So when I was called to do a solo, they saw me coming with a phone. Like, so I put the phone to the microphone, and I'm playing a melody, like a solo in C. So I keep going, like I'd play the trumpet off the phone. So I should add the phone. But anyway, these are part of the things we do.
But it is, you know, for those who don't know, Nokia 3310 was the phone
at the time.
at some point. That phone was.
So question 2, before you guys take me on a roller coaster. Theory and practical, just to close that. I think the two are necessary if your intention is to go professional. Because when you have theory added to the practical, 1, you go faster, 2, you know what you're doing, but 3, it's very great for communication internationally. Because if you have, like, the time we're doing a tour in 2008.
Who is we?
So the 3 of us, Chinobe, it was Chinobe, myself, and another guy called Intambi Abe. What happened, we were in Marcos before, and we had met some guys that were from Belgium. So they liked the way we were doing our traditional music, and I was playing guitar. So I was playing guitar, Chinobe was playing kogo and many other traditional instruments, and the guy was playing drums. So it was a weird trio of sorts. So what happened, there's an organization called Ethno. They bring musicians from different parts of the world. So in 2008, we had to go for a tour. We're still young guys. We went for a tour, and we're supposed to represent Uganda, but also there's a song that you do, or 2 songs that you do at the end of that week, and perform at a festival. So now that at that festival, you've got to unite like different factors, because we had guys from China, Chile, and then you make like that kind of orchestra. So what happens is they score the music. So every country is supposed to score its music within. You meet on Monday,
Yeah.
and Friday we're done with the entire production. And so every country has to be ready with its set and then that general set. So they're monitoring which instruments do you have and so on. So you have to write music. So at this point, all of us had done music from S1 at least till S4. So we'd understand the solfas stuff and stuff. So the Chinese will just bring theirs. You have to interpret it and they do your practice. Because you have an akogo, maybe, what's it, pentatonic? Okay, I'll write something for you. You have to understand it.
Yeah.
Now they're expecting the Ugandan piece that has to incorporate violin, has to incorporate stuff. So we had a piece that's traditional, but we had to write music for them. So at this point, theory came into play.
Yeah.
However great would have been, if we had no theory, it wouldn't have worked out. So depending on your mission and how long you want to achieve it. I forgot the third question.
No, I think that was it.
No, there's something that we're going to, but I've
Yeah,
got
but
it.
also because we don't want, like, don't be.
On tension.
Yeah, no, not really. Like, we just wanna
On Kenkos.
because
Chill.
the people who are watching the show just wanna pick up a few things from
About you.
like about you, because some people only see you on stage, but
Yeah.
now we want them to get a picture of you, how you are off stage when you're chilling. Like for example, what do you do
Chilling
for
with
fun?
my bosses.
The days the few days that you don't have a gig.
Like, what do you do?
What do I do? I play soccer really badly, but I play soccer.
That could mean anything in this day and age. I'm bad.
Oh, no. Not that kind. Like, we've played soccer together. Yeah, so like I can find my way around the game. Yeah, but that for me mostly is for fitness sake and interaction and stuff and just chilling. You get your mind off Benon's call about what time the band is coming and the guys said, the cameras are rolling. I'm like, Benon, you know what?
Yeah.
So talk about other things.
And you've brought up something, sorry to cut you off,
Yeah.
but that's so important to always to find time and switch off. And,
Yeah.
you know, because, yes, please continue.
My best spend time, I should say, is like being home by myself.
Are you a loner?
Talking to, but not necessarily, but I choose to have introspection at different points in life. When you don't go back to do introspection, like find out what's going on. Great. You will not know where you've been or where you're at, and then in perspective to where you want to go. So at every point, you just keep moving, and then that's it, and you're dead.
There's this word that I've forgotten
Which one?
that tries to explain that. Like even me, I think even Benon, there are times when you want to be in a crowd of people.
Yeah.
There are times when you want to talk so much. Then there are times
You need to
you
retreat.
don't want to talk. You don't even want to be around people. Like there are times I go to my house, I don't even want to hear music. Like I just want it to be like if I leave work and I've been mixing like 100 songs and I get home and I do not want to
And you
hear.
don't even switch on the TV.
No.
You just...
I just want to go on the couch and
I think
just...
I took it a notch higher because I disconnected the radio in my car. But we'll get to that part. What? Yeah, I don't listen to music on the road.
You just don't want, because you know you're going to be exposed to it.
But there's a time when I needed to not mix but give an opinion to a song and then create the like a different production element.
Yeah.
And the radio was not working. And then I had to wear these big headphones. I don't know, it was you.
It's me.
You that saw me?
I saw him driving and he's
Like, bro,
I had big
like,
headphones and I needed
what's
them to
going
be
on?
like in great sound, like good stereo sound, because I could get the elements of how this was panned and stuff.
Hey.
And I disconnected the radio because my safe spaces are two: in the car when I'm driving and at home. Like I don't want to listen to anything else until it's time for me to listen to something in a creative mode. So it's rare situations when I'm just going to turn on the radio. I'm like, it's a nice song or stuff like that. Then go to the club maybe once in a month or something. If I'm not going to work, because technically I work out. The guys are saying, let's go out and chill. That's where we work.
Yeah.
So when you say we go out and chill,
Me, I'm going to work.
out to work.
Yeah.
When I'm done with work, I want to go home
And
to
chill.
rest.
Michael,
Yeah.
I want to get your perspective. I
Many
don't want to
waters?
say that we have two worlds when it comes to music, but unfortunately it is. Though it's not as intense as it used to be. Because back in the days, there was a really, really fine line. The guys that do
Mainstream.
mainstream and the gig,
The band guys.
the
live
band guys,
live band guys.
and actually Myko played a big role in
And bringing
Bridging
those
the
two
gap.
together.
bridging the gap, because there's a time the band guys really sounded very condescending to the mainstream guys. You guys only play 3 chords.
You can't sing for 3 hours.
That kind of thing. Yeah. What do you think the status quo of the music and how are these two worlds doing?
Okay.
Independently and also,
Okay. For starters, I would say we've come a long journey in the quest to bridge the gap. That's one. Whereby you can have a mainstream artist work well with gig men that you'd say at the peak of their career as well, the country, and blend together to do a great production, just like we did at Cover Sessions, something like that. And then together it's a unit, and you don't feel like there's a gap.
Yeah.
That's one. Two, that's not ubiquitous all over the whole industry. It's certain kind of key elements in it that have like been able to cross over. There's lots of people else who feel like nah, you're doing your thing. On both sides.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, you see, they say the fish rots from the head. But as well, if the fish is fine at the top, then all else can like work out itself. So if we start from there, then it should be okay. We're on a journey, yeah, and it's much better than it was. Independently, I feel like we still need a lot of more creative input in the mainstream, and a lot more intentional production and creation. Other than just doing what everybody else is doing, what's the new genre, just jump on it.
What's trending?
Yeah, that works well for business. But if you have no element of identity within that new trending sound, then when that trend is done, you'll be done with it, and you don't even remember what that you visited us.
Yeah.
You get?
What will have echo?
We need, if you have some kind of element like the you in it. I can have a you in Amapiano. I have you in salsa. There's something about you. Either you have a unique voice, or unique writing skills, or unique way in which you structure your songs. They're weird. They start with the chorus, go straight to a bridge, then you do the verse after. Like there's something about you.
Yeah. There's something very sensitive.
Yeah.
That I want to touch on right now. Like now that you have been in both worlds, we've seen gig men.
Yeah.
For lack of better words, who have come and then they have gone. It's like there was a time they were the guys.
Yeah.
They played at every single concert. Like if those guys didn't play for you,
who would play for you?
Like who's gonna play for you? Like they're the guys in the city. And speaking from the live band side, like there's been a lot of improvement. We have so many kids who can play instruments today.
Yeah.
But also some of the older guys who are there kind of feel like they've been sidelined. They feel like, I don't know, like they feel like, because the new kids are now taking over. They're playing with in-ears, with backing tracks. The older guys, that wasn't their stuff. Like for you, what did you do to remain relevant?
Yeah.
Because longevity is a very big issue for musicians. Yeah. You don't want to play just 5 years and then disappear.
And then frustration kicks in.
And then you start getting mad at other people. Longevity. What's your ideology on that?
I think if you look at the music industry without understanding that it's a business, then you're going to make a mistake.
But do you think you can say it again? Exactly.
Please do. Say it again. That's very important.
Let me edit it. If you look at the music industry without having the perspective that it's a music business, then you're making a big mistake.
Because that's how you're making your living.
Yeah.
It's a job. It's not just having fun.
Yeah.
Preach. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, back to your question, longevity and relevance. I'll give an example of mobile phones. Not mobile phones, the phones like from the time of Bell, was he? The guys that invented. Like if the guys that were making those ring telephone thingies, not even ring, because that was much later. It was that thing that would hold
The phones.
If that was your niche and you were the greatest inventor of that, but you didn't upgrade to the ringing part, then upgrade to the buttons up until now, where it's a smartphone.
The Nokia story.
Yeah.
At some point, Nokia was
hit
The
really
phone.
hard.
Yeah.
And they were great for the composer that I used on stage, but thereafter we're looking for something else until they had to like readjust, and they have some touch screens and stuff and edit software 310 and whatever. But anyway, so to cut the story short, you have to understand the times and seasons.
Yeah.
You've got to be relevant to now.
But what do you do to remain relevant?
I'm coming to that point.
Okay.
So maintaining who you actually are, is keeping the what we would call the chinyusi. Chidi. I don't know how you're going to explain that. The
gist.
The gist of what it is. But surrounding yourself, that's the housing. You understand? So you have to understand that right now, this is the tech that works. This is the kind of music that works. That's the business angle. Because if you have no numbers, if you have no funds, you're only as big as your fans. You know that?
Yeah.
So you could be the greatest musician in the world, but if only you knows your music, you only have one fan.
Yeah.
So you're as big as that one fan who's you.
Oh man.
So if you understand what the industry wants right now, they're going tech, people are going semi-live, people are going online and stuff, but you say, no, kati wamanyi, kati mbulamu wafe, petwa wetu, that's great. So you're going to stay there. If you're going to stay there, that's okay. You're going to have your 10 fans. So know you're as big as your 10 fans right now. Because the other 20,000 migrated to the new life.
Yeah.
So they're going to find someone that can entertain them in that life. So what do I do?
And it's more efficient.
What do I do? You have to understand that the new events, the new way of production is working this way. So every time I'm researching to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Where is the world? Because we're not in the day and age where you do a gig in Kapeka and someone in Luero doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You do a gig in Zimbabwe and it's streaming live in Singapore. It's a global village. So you've got to be at par with the technology that's worldwide. You've got
You need to
be
educate
at par,
yourself.
Yeah, with the sound. You've got to be at par with the visuals. You've got to be at par with the graphics. You've got to be at par with the production in general. So if you're not at par with what's going on, you're left behind. So that's what I do. I keep updating myself daily.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very important.
That's important.
Yeah, and thank you for that. I know we're running out of time, but so many things.
But we've
no
just
time.
begun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to do 2 episodes?
I would like to know, do you think that you have, and this is something that we struggle with, we as creatives, there's a way we struggle with balance in life. The personal life. Do you have a girlfriend? Are you married? Do you have kids? And do you feel like that part of life that we think, me personally, that I think provides stability in your life? Do you think that it's taken care of?
Is it adding or taking away?
I think everybody's journey is different. There's people that thrive well in plural. There's people that thrive well in singular.
Bro, can you speak English, please?
These are English words.
I think I know what it means.
Yeah, but
I mean, okay, you're a Bible scholar. There was the Moses direction, who had a family. Then there was Paul, and they're all successful.
okay, single and married or seeing someone. Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah, so people have choices, and they can choose to do it.
What's your
their
choice?
way. What's my choice? I think that's a question of a private event.
On a private
Yeah,
event.
right now we're at a public arena, so I'll abstain.
What's your drive to do what you do. Because for some people, I'll tell you what I mean.
Yeah.
For some people, when they say, if I look at my child, it gives me guts to wake up
like,
every.
I have to go
I have to go and face the world for these people. Like, it can be their wife, can be the child, it can be their mother.
Yeah.
It can be maybe even their own past. Like for me, my drive is every time I think about where I came from, I'm like, I can't sleep. I need to go work.
It's my past one.
So I keep saying this many times, and I'll say it again.
Yeah.
There's a scripture.
Let's go.
Yeah, that talks about 5 talents. Like the guy that got the most got 5. Then there's another guy that was given 2, and there's a guy that was given 1. The guy that was given 1 buried it and brought it back. He didn't steal it or destroy it. The guy of 2 traded them and brought
5.
No, brought 4.
5? Is it 5?
2 by 2. He traded the 2
and
and brought another 2.
Brought 10.
The guy of 5 brought 10. So when the master came back, he appreciated the guy of 2, the guy of 5. But what guys overlook is that the guy of 1 who saved it and brought it back as it was not only rebuked or admonished, he was punished. You get? Eternally. So every time I digested that parable, I realized there's a talent that God gave me. And whether I want it or not, I didn't choose. I was born that way. You're born with a talent. You can either make yourself skillful based on the talent or not, but the talent is inborn anyway. So I realized if I do nothing about it, there's going to be repercussions at the end.
Wow.
You get?
Wow. Yeah.
So that was my first drive.
So your drive is fear for being eternally punished.
So that was my first drive. Can you imagine? Like I was enjoying what I was doing, but I was like, I can't sit on this talent.
Yeah.
Because everything else I've done is just skill improvement. I studied something else, accounts and statistics.
Okay.
But you can do that.
And your second drive, you are saying?
Second drive is passion. Because I like to get paid to have fun. And what I do is my passion. So you probably contracted me to do about 45 minutes. We get to the 50 minutes mark and the client is like, guys, that's it. And there are all those walkie-talkies and stuff. I'm not going to mention names. And they're saying, guys, you have one song to go.
I remember that morning when we played that gig in the cold morning.
Oh, boy.
And then the guy was,
guys, that's it. No, as a creative, there's just one song or 2 that I had that I want to give the audience so these guys can feel this emotion. And then you have the guy on a walkie-talkie walking behind. You say,
that's it.
Guys.
All the MCs who come and say, first stop.
Thank
Car
you.
number you edit in the middle of a
want
song.
to get food pass here.
Yeah.
Yo, actually, if you're an MC at an event and you're watching, please stop doing that.
Thing is
Or
so bad.
when somebody's performing, it's not
necessary.
We don't want that.
So the difference with creatives is that yes, it's our job.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy what you're doing, it's beyond an 8 to 5.
Yeah.
When it clocks the 5 mark, it's not necessarily a click out.
Yeah.
You feel like I had this extra thing.
Yeah.
So that's part of my drive. But my primary drive, like the first one, was the whole aspect of I've got this talent. If I sit on it,
Then
one, there's repercussions, yes.
Yeah.
But why didn't God give this talent to somebody else? I've got to use it.
And also, I believe like for your legacy, it's something that is very, your talent does a lot for your legacy. Someone asked me a question, said, do you know Albert Einstein's kids?
No idea.
But you know him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Forever.
So he left a legacy. And this whole thing is, you need to have kids because they'll be your legacy. Like, it's not really.
So is that your take?
No.
Okay.
No, I actually want to have kids at some point. But
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
Are you spiritual? And if you are, because you've mentioned a few Bible things, how does that affect your musicality, like, and your lifestyle? How does it affect who you are today?
Okay, I would say back to the Bible. Like,
So you're
am
Christian?
I spiritual? Yes, I'm Christian.
Okay.
There's another passage that says you bring up a child in the way they should go,
Mm.
and when they grow up, they won't deviate from it.
Yeah.
It's true to a large extent. You say as a statistician, we're not allowed to have absolutes. We can't say it's absolutely true. It's contrary to really what faith should say, because we believe faith 100%. But I mean, there's people that deviate from what the cause was in the start, how they were brought up. But even when they deviate, at the back of their minds, the conscious somewhere, you know this is wrong.
Yeah.
But I want to do it anyway. But at least the fact that as a parent or someone bringing them up, you threw that seed there. Which you call it? It's fine. But what you money. So how does that help me? There's certain things that for me, I feel like
see where you're going.
Extremely uncultured. Like omuntu omugonju futabikola. Like temuli mu buntu. You don't do this. Somebody doesn't do this. And then you find people that probably didn't have the same upbringing and the same culturing. They're like, but it's okay. So mubba. Katife tuchiyiye wano. And then we can. I'm like, no, that's not what we do. It's tetuja moyiya tuyiye. Tetuja kuyiya badi. You get. So our industry, our industry is very evil. And then there's many evil things in there, but you don't necessarily have to be a part of everything. You need to know what you're supposed to do your thing, and then that's it. So the fact that there's that culturing and upbringing,
Benon, that's powerful.
Very.
Some people think when you become a musician, you have to take drugs, for example. Guys who take drugs, that's really your choice. I'm not really saying. But they think that, in fact, there was a friend of mine called Sharma. He used to have dreadlocks. So at some point, he cut off his dreadlocks. Then someone met him and said, hey, you're no longer a musician? As if they are saying, when you're a musician, you have to have dreadlocks, you have to smoke drugs, or where you're... Like, it's just like you said, and that's really powerful. Just do what you're supposed to do. Stay true to your beliefs.
Actually, let me put it this way. We're all bricks in the whole house of music. Just do your part. If all these bricks came together in the right place, we're going to have a great house. But if you think you also have to be a cornerstone, or a certain brick just didn't fit the space, so it was cut off a bit. So you think your brick has to be cut off. You're also supposed to stay same length, so that when it's placed there, it makes the wall perfect. So just bring your element to the table, do your thing, and that's it. Don't try to be like another. And I think this advice has to be for people like in life generally, not just as musicians. If you don't culture somebody at the tender age, they're going to get to a certain point in life and there's no set values. Anything can go. Whatever you throw to them can go.
That's very bad.
Why waliwechigenda maso wali kugundi
But if you have roots somewhere, you know that there's things that we can do. There's some things that I just can't do. And if I chose to do them, you know that you're going the wrong path, and you later on, no, I went the wrong way. Yes.
Do you what's your this is a bit now I'm going to become very personal with you. What's next for you? I know people have seen you for a very long time. They want you to do, many people say you need to put out an album as Myko Ouma. You need to, they want to know. They want to get into your mind to know what.
Some of us watched Myko Ouma season 1 and Myko Ouma season 2.
I performed at season 2.
Me too. I performed at season 2. It was a great night.
At Kati. Right.
No.
Season 1, you performed at season 1.
Which was at Serena.
Oh, okay.
Season 2 was the one at Kati.
Okay.
What's next for me? I wouldn't have wanted to give it away. But I could just say I'm going into the academy.
The reason why we do this is to inspire their kids who and you might not know Kobe Bryant and I believe Kobe got it from Jordan. He said that one of the reasons I play my heart out every night is that there could be a kid sitting in the rows that looks at me and makes their life changing decision from seeing how passionate I am. That's basically just the reason.
That's deep. I'm saying I'll continue with stage performances, though sorry to say they're going to trickle down by the day, the month, the year. I'm more into live music production for on-stage events, but I'll go into studio production as well for live music strictly. and then I'm going to go into the academia.
Teaching.
Yeah. If we don't have, if you have skills and you amass skills, but you don't have the art of imparting knowledge into the next generation, you're a loss.
Bro.
If you think when you amass all these skills and knowledge and everything, and you think you're great, I'm not going to pass it on so I can be the only bull in the corral, it may be great for that time, but there's no legacy. And then it's also a waste. Because then if you can't put knowledge next generation, they're going to go from scratch. But if the guy that invented the bulb like was comfortable with himself and then didn't tell them how to do it, and the bulb ended in his era, the next generation would be trying to do the same experiments he did.
That he did. Instead of improving.
Yeah. I said, Benon, there's a plugin like this. What Benon is supposed to do is to improve the plugin. Then somebody else can use that plugin as a preset and then create a different genre of music. Everybody is using that as a microcosm. You get?
Yeah.
But if we all have to go back and create a plugin, create the plugin, we're going to get to the year 3000 and we're still trying to look for the tube. And at that point, guys should be finding out what kind of sound frequency is going to communicate to the aliens.
Yeah.
That should be their problem.
Yeah.
Because we've done all the astrophysics. But if at that point they're still studying gravity, because Newton was very selfish with his ideas and stuff, it doesn't work. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to the academia so we can have people in our generation that have had music. We've had music in a very different way.
Yeah.
There's the jazz element, there's the live band element, there's the traditional, there's mainstream and everything. This is in our generation, and it's not been there before this way. If our generation phases out, and then guys in the next generation start investigating this again, yet we did it already, it's a waste.
It's not fair. Yeah.
Man, that's I'm happy that you are willing to pass that on, and I know you've already done too much. Like, you might not know, but you've impacted a lot of us. Like me personally, I met you at the point when I needed somebody like you in my life, and also in my production world. Plus also, me as an artist, I was kind of like lost,
crossroads of sorts.
Yeah, I'm like, but I felt like the music I was doing was not fulfilling anymore. I was not comfortable with it anymore, and I wanted to do, try out things, and but I needed like somebody
Guidance,
to tell me that, that's cool. And I met this guy. They had just come off to US tour. He's very, and man, he was very fundamental to the production of my very first album, the solo album I put out, New Day. And for that album, I wanted to experiment with a lot of things. I wanted to do music that I felt represented me, and also incorporate a lot of things, traditional instruments, work with very different people.
I think I said this to Benon in the first episode. Benon, in my world, is one of the most, I think behind Timbaland, is one of the most experimental. These guys tried out. Like, every time I listen to the music they did in those 2000s, I'm like, even when you listen to those songs about Mr. DJ, like, they were really trying out. They did the things they did with GNL, like things
very experimental.
Very experimental. Like,
so this man added a big tafali to that. My first time to work with him was Where You Are. I know we have some issues. He was not happy with how some guitars were mixed, But yo, I mean,
Yeah, I know. It was
actually,
back in the day.
that was my first time to record live guitars
You're forgiven
in my
officially.
studio.
I need to say this on the
You
radio.
had kept this the whole
You're
time.
forgiven.
Today.
Benon, no, I
Thank
forgave
you.
him back in the day, but I didn't mention it on the record because the next call I gave him after I listened to that song,
I was like, don't talk to me again.
Boss.
man, you know, every time I listen to the song, I'd have to explain to myself and everybody say,
That's
do
not
you hear
you."
those guitars in the background? The other ones behind there. Those sweet, which ones? Those good things which sound like that. Those bad ones.
Michael,
Yeah.
do you have routine
Do I have routine?
for work? Yeah. When you're preparing for a concert, are there things you do every time you're... No?
No, I'm unfortunately free flow. Why? Okay, there's two things. I'll get to the second one after the first one. I like to gel into the situation. I don't like to be rigid.
Blend.
Yeah, I blend actually. Sorry, blend into the situation. I'm not rigid. In certain matters. When it comes to music production, and we planned it. When I'm on stage and someone comes with walkie-talkies and headphones and says, "You're not going to do 5 songs
We need to
anymore.
find that guy.
You're not going to do 5 songs anymore. You guys are going to do 3 songs."
You kill it.
While I am on stage, now there's a problem because I've created a production which song sings into which and stuff. Because I'm evoking different emotions with the audience for every song.
Yeah.
You get?
You're setting them up for the next
Yes. And then if you tell me that before, we have no problem. So I would say on stage I'm a bit rigid.
I remember
comes
when we
to
were doing a
before-
gig at Serena,
Yeah.
and then we had kept all our nice songs for the last part, and then the guy came and told us.
And he was grateful for the performance.
Thank you, you guys did a good job. Michael was...
So yeah.
I've witnessed a lot of those kind of situations.
So I don't have routines before because I just gel in.
Okay.
And also it's because for me I prefer to what's the word? Extemporize is the word, but I'm looking for it. It's like
Kathy should be here. Extemporize?
it's like, you know, like when we're on
Spontaneity.
something like that. When you're on stage and you tell me take a solo, that what you do there.
I have that
like
habit.
it's right there. Like it's not a solo
In
that
the
I played
moment.
yesterday. It's in the
Yeah.
moment. So that's how I like to do it with my music. Even when I'm on stage or off stage. So I'm not going to play the solo that you had yesterday because we're on tour.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is going to be different.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get a different emotion that I'm feeling at that point, and I have to be honest about it.
Yeah.
If I regurgitate a solo of yesterday, yesterday's moment was different. Probably we weren't paid yesterday, or today we've not been paid, we didn't eat in time, or the sound is whack, or
Yeah.
like there's 2 people in there, like different
Yeah,
situation.
so you're feeling different and
Yeah.
you just want to.
Yeah,
It reminds me of Mose Radio.
Yeah.
He would,
been a different vibe.
like, it would be difficult for him to give you the same take.
Yeah.
But that's how deep creatives are.
Yeah.
Because
He
you
would not
see,
give you a same
with our industry, there's where the 8 to 5 ends, and there's where passion comes in.
Yeah.
Because with the 8 to 5 aspect is where I'm going to give you 10 texts exactly as was. Then the other passion aspect is that every time you keep playing the song, there's more. You know,
It brings out more.
I would have that problem in studio because everybody would ask me for a different take. Like
Yeah.
this take is better, this one is worse, but none is the same.
Yeah.
So a guy is cutting up. Then I listen to the solo and I'm supposed to play it at a concert. But the third take was from like bar number 5. I don't remember playing that after bar number 4.
Yeah.
And you know, it gives me a bit of problem. There was something just before you. Sorry, there's something that Benon was talking about when I met him at Crossroads. People keep asking me when I'm going to do another album, and for me, my life's journey in my music journey, let me say, has not necessarily been about timelines. It's been about what I feel at the time. It's been about if I'm ready to give off something
Yeah.
that is a reflection of what I'm feeling and my
At
music
that
creation.
moment, yeah.
If I do like 5 albums in a year, or I do 1 album in 8 years, I personally have no pressure because I owe it to nobody. But at that point, I need to feel like I'm genuine about what I'm creating.
Yeah.
So when I feel like genuinely there's something to give off, and like it's who I am at the
You have
time.
a story to tell.
Yeah, because an album is a story.
Yeah.
There has to be some chronological order of what you're doing. I could give you a
In
single.
other words, don't talk if you have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way you've put it. It's a bit harsh, but we can go with that. Yeah, so yeah, there's lots of music pieces that I created between when I last released and now. And there's times I would reach studio, like Benon was asking me before about some piece.
Yeah.
I did and I liked it at the time, but I felt like I'm not getting the sounds right. The calabash, there's a calabash that plays la raha and actually vibe.
You are Samia, right?
I'm Samia, my dad is Samia, my mom is Acholi.
Okay.
So I'm hybrid. Like there was a vibe of that calabash that was not coming out. It was not merging well with the bola drums and not merging well with how the guitar was coming in. And every time I went to studio, there was something different. And that's a problem we have as creatives. There's guys that I know that have done one album for 10 years.
Yeah.
There's a time when you think about the business and get it out.
Yeah.
But fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know how to see it. I don't owe anybody any album at this point.
Even Benon has some old songs of his that I like. I've asked
Very
him to
old.
give them to me. I mix them. He refused. He's like,
It's
I'm not,
because-
This is my baby.
I'm not. No, he's like, I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah,
They don't
and
reflect.
it's true.
Yeah.
I wish I released that music
At that time.
then.
Yeah.
But right now, if I
Like,
put it out,
That's not me.
people think, okay, that's me and that's where I am.
It's a lie.
It's an unfortunate thing, but that's how it is sometimes. You were going to ask me something, sorry.
No, I was saying you give us one word for the closure, just to close out.
Apart from saying big up on yourselves, and thanks for your thanks to you guys for having me here.
No problem. It's pleasure. Pleasure is ours.
I meet you guys in very different situations. You usually on stage, you usually backstage,
Yes.
and then sometimes on stage.
And just to make things clear, I'm never that guy with walkie-talkie.
And there's some guy who comes backstage with the walkie-talkie. He's a close friend of mine. I'll keep it so dear to me.
But who's that?
That's
Who's that?
guy.
You need to cane him.
And at different shows, but anyway, aside from that, I'm really grateful we had this. I feel like it was really, really, really short.
Yeah.
Because
It's the longest. We're
Convers-
almost going an hour.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the longest we've done.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Yeah, and wait, I was about to forget something.
to the
that I always
listeners.
say.
Yeah.
Guys listening, watching, whatever you put your hands to, do it well. Do it like it's your final day. Do it like you're not going to live another second.
Oh.
Yeah, because you don't know.
I can't say anything after that. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
It's been nice. Myko Ouma, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Master Bass.
The Master Bass podcast.
We're
Thanks,
outta here.
everybody. We're
We're
out of
outta
here,
here.
bro. Thank you
For
very
real.
much. Thank you.